Are you feeling confused about all the chord voicing and how to really practice and integrate them in your own playing? Well, in this lesson, I want to teach you 5 different tools you can use to practice to really master the chords in all keys. And if you'd like to have a detailed PDF version of all the different tools, you can get it for free down below in the description. Alright, so for this lesson, I'm going to be using a very simple minor 7 chord to share all the different ideas. But you can use these tools for absolutely every chord type that you're learning. So a minor 7 chord has the 1, the flat 3, the 5, and the flat 7 here. So on C, we would have C, A flat, G, and B flat. Alright, so that is going to be the type of chord we're going to be using across all 5 tools. So the first idea is practicing your chords chromatically, and that will apply that to all the chord inversion of each chord. So let's just take an example here. If I have my C minor 7 here, this one is actually the root position. So we could also play the voicing in both hands like this, or simply just hold one note on the left hand. Depends really what you want to be practicing here. So let's just go like this. It's going to show you what's going to be happening with the chord. So I take this one and I go a half step higher like this. So it's the same chord, but I'm transposing the chord. So now we have a C sharp minor 7. Move on to D minor 7. E flat minor 7 or D sharp minor 7, depends how you want to see it. Again, E minor 7, F minor 7, F sharp minor 7, G minor 7, A flat minor 7, A minor 7, B flat minor 7, and B minor 7 here, and we're back. Alright, so I'm simply moving the same chord voicing, going a half step higher every time, which is chromatically, like this. And of course, to practice this, you have to start very slow and try to work with a metronome or a drum loop, something that gives you a tempo that you need to follow. And you're gonna see it's gonna make you work a lot and think a lot about all the different voicing here. Also, I want to share with you a different example if I change the chord inversion, because like I say, you also want to be practicing everything in different chord inversion. So this one is really like the root position, but what if I start with the third here? So the minor third would be my lowest note here. So I would go like this, then going half step higher would be this one. We're at C sharp minor 7, D minor 7, E flat minor 7, and going all the way like this. So you get the idea here. And then you can start from another chord inversion and do the same concept going up a half step. So this is really moving chromatically. It's a very cool tool to learn. And one of the things you can try to help you out is just focus that every note are going to move a half step higher. So if you're not sure what are the notes of the next chord, the upcoming chords, you can actually just be like, all right, so C, this one goes there, this one goes there, there, and there. All right, I have the right chord here. So that can be a good way to just help you out if you're starting to learn these type of chords. All right, the next tool I want to talk about is the circle of fifth. Everywhere on the internet, you talk about circle of fifth. It's a very useful tool because you can just go across all the different keys, just moving a fifth higher every time you're moving around. So the circle of fifth is just going on and on and on, and it's fifth intervals every time you're changing the chord. Just a quick example of how the circle of fifth works. If I start on C and then I move a fifth higher of C, we're going to G. A fifth higher, it's D. A fifth higher of D is A. And those are all perfect fifths. A would be E. Let's go back down here. So E, we go to B. B, the perfect fifth of B is F sharp. F sharp would be C sharp. C sharp would be G sharp or A flat. And if I go back lower here, because I don't have enough space on the piano, A flat, going to E flat for the perfect fifth, E flat, going to B flat, it's F, and F goes to C, and we're back to the beginning. So this is why it goes in circle, because it just loops itself. It's just always going in fifth. And we can use that to actually practice the chords, and it's just a different idea, different approach to make sure that you know your chords. So if I use the minor 7 chord we were talking about, and we move this chord in the circle of fifth. So C minor 7, now we're going a fifth higher, so we're gonna go to G minor 7, all right? Then we're gonna go to D minor 7. And for this one, I'm actually only using the root position again, because for every tool I'm gonna be talking today, you really need to try to work with different chord inversion, and it's really the secret behind all of that. All right, D minor 7. Now I'm just gonna go lower here to keep it in this area. So A minor 7, then we're moving to E minor 7, B minor 7, F sharp minor 7, C sharp minor 7, A flat minor 7, E flat minor 7, B flat minor 7, F minor 7, and we're back to C. And again, if I try with the first inversion here, so instead of starting on the root, I start on the minor 3rd. We can do the same idea, just starting with a different chord inversion. So C minor 7, G minor 7, D minor 7, A minor 7, E minor 7, and you see how it goes. So it's really a great tool to practice different chord inversion and move over like this. So it's a little bit different than the chromatic approach. You're using the circle of fifth, but you're also practicing to see the next fifth in your head, just trying to move around like this. And just as a reminder, if you haven't done so yet, I've created a PDF version of this video with all the different tools I'm sharing today, and you can download it for free just below in the description. All right, now for the next tool is something that I used a lot when I was first learning voicing, and it's using just simply random grids. It's because when we start practicing with the circle of fifth or chromatic, we actually tend to learn these movements by heart, and we actually stop thinking about what we're playing. So the idea when we want to learn chord voicing is always try to stay out of your comfort zone. So if you get too comfortable about something, you need to change the way you're practicing, because you're not practicing anymore and you're just learning it by heart. All right. So random grids are great because you can just move around with the chords. You just mix all that all the time and you don't get used to the order of the chords you're practicing. So for example, I'm going to be using this grid you see over here, and it's just random chords, all right? And I'm going to be practicing the minor 7 chord, just following the grid over here. Let's go from the left to the right side of each line. You can mix all that, just be creative with this idea. So we start with C minor 7, go back to the root. Again, you can practice all that with different chord inversion, right? C minor 7. Then we're going to F minor 7, E flat minor 7, G sharp minor 7, E minor 7, C sharp minor 7, B flat minor 7, G minor 7, F sharp minor 7, A minor 7, D minor 7, B minor 7, and you can start again. This is a great tool because there's no melody in what you're playing. It's really random. You can move around with different type of chords. Great exercise to do. I strongly suggest you add a metronome, anything that has a tempo to really make you practice thinking faster when you're looking for a chord. All right, let's now move to the idea number 4, and it's simply using chord progression. So you can pick a chord progression that has the type of chord you want to learn. And every time you fall on that chord, you have to play that chord. You try to know the chord inversion you're going to be using, the chord voicing you're going to be using. So for this example, I'm going to be using the minor 2, the 1, and the 5. All right. So what we want to learn is the minor 2. So for the minor 2, we're going to have like D minor 7 if we're in C. So let's start very simple. I'm going to use the root position chord. All right, the one we've been practicing. So I go from this one 5. And back to this one, because every time I'm playing the minor chord, I want to use this specific chord voicing I want to practice. All right? Like this. And we're back to this chord inversion. Let's try a different chord inversion, starting on the 3rd here. So every time I'm going to go back to the minor 2, I need to go right here. All right? Let's think about that. So we start here. 2, 3. Back to minor 2. Like that. Again, same voicing. And you really focus on the voicing you want to practice. Let's do another example for this one. If I start here with the 7 on the bottom. So every time I play that chord, that minor chord, I want to have 7, 1, 3, and 5. Let's remember that. So back to the 7 here. Like this. And this is really how you can practice these chord inversion in a chord progression. The secret behind the chord progression, though, is you need to transpose the chord progression, because right now we're only practicing one key. We're only practicing the D minor. So you would have to just take this 2, 1, and 5 and go, all right, that was in C, let's go in G. So in G, we're going to have different chord, and you transpose the chord progression like this. So you can do that too. It's more melodic, you feel like you're practicing a real song, and you're really practicing different chord voicing. All right, now for the last idea to how to practice your chord voicing. It's basically, if you're getting used to practicing something and you want to test your knowledge, you can try it in a real song. A real song is more difficult because it's harder to transpose in all key. It's really more to test your knowledge. So I would start with the first few ideas, like 1, 2, and 3. And once you're comfortable with what you're practicing there, you can use what you've learned there and apply it to chord progression and to the song. For this example, I'm going with the song by Linkin Park, Numb. It's a great song. I love that song. And it's actually starting on a minor chord here. So we have the F minor. And for the purpose of this, we're just going to be adding the 7 on the top. So it's F minor 7, D major, A major, and E. So for this, I'm not going to be playing the melody. I just want to practice my minor chord voicing. So let's say I want to use the root position for the F sharp minor 7. So every time in the song I see the F sharp minor 7, I want to play this exact chord inversion and chord voicing. So let's try it. So I'm just going to be playing some quarter notes behind. So we have this 1, 3, 4, we go to D, A, E. We're going back. This voicing. A, and E. Like this. Let's try to change it a little bit. And what if I want to use with the minor here, the 3rd minor. So let's go just lower, and we're gonna go, this is gonna be our first chord, all right? So this is the voicing, 2, 3, 4. So it makes it work, starting on different position here. Back here. Alright, so this is a really cool exercise if you want to test your knowledge in a real context and use songs that you actually love to practice your chord inversion, your chord voicing. And as you can see, I've just taken the first verse. To practice this, you don't have to do the full song. Just take a part of the song and practice this over and over. Alright, so there you go. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to comment with your light bulb moment from this video, and I hope it leads you to practice your chords smarter and not harder. Alright, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.